So we're in Esther today, and as you know, Esther was a Jew, and Haman is the enemy in this thing. He's trying to kill all the Jews, trying to convince the king, Xerxes, that he should kill all of the Jews. Well, the problem is, one person he's going after is honored by the king. He's a Jew, and Esther is a Jew, and she is now Queen Esther. So now Haman is in trouble. So the king is so impressed with Esther that he says to him, "You can have half of my kingdom if you'd like. And I'll give you anything you want, even half of my kingdom." And Queen Esther replied, "If I have found favor in your sight, if I have found favor with the king, and if it pleases the king to grant my request, I ask that my life and the lives of my people will be spared. For my people and I have been sold to those who would kill, slaughter, and annihilate us. If we had merely been sold as slaves, I would remain quiet, for that would be too trivial a matter to warrant disturbing the king." "Who would do such a thing?" King Xerxes demanded. "Who would be so presumptuous as to touch you?" And Esther replied, "This wicked Haman is our adversary and our enemy." Haman grew pale with fright before the king and queen, and then the king jumped to his feet in a rage and went out to the palace garden. Oh, Haman's in trouble. And the way that Esther asked this question and the way she's done all of this has been God inspired, God helping her. Jesus, a little later on, will say to his disciples, "Be shrewd as snakes and harmless as doves." And he says, God will give you the right words at the right time. Exactly what happens to Esther. That's in Matthew 10:16 and following. So there's a wisdom that we have available to us, and it's a wisdom from God. And in order to experience that wisdom, oftentimes we have to be quiet, and we have to listen, and we have to trust God that He will give us what we need at the time we need it. One of the things I notice about Jesus is He never defends Himself. Not that I can think of anyway, maybe there's sometimes, but even when He's being wrongly accused in front of the leaders of the Jews and the leaders of the Romans, Pilate and others, never defends Himself. That would be good for us too, wouldn't it? To not defend ourselves, to trust that God will take care of all things, and then know that God will give us what we need when we need it. That's a very more relaxing position than being worried about what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. And, will I say the right thing or the wrong thing? Just step back and look to God and trust God to give you the right words to say at the right time in the right place, and relax and realize that it's not all about you, but it's about God and what God wants to get done. Man, that's a great place to live in that kind of knowing that God's in control and that I'm not. I like to say that control is an illusion, and but we often bite into it that I have control, and I want control, but actually control just makes us nervous. It's God who has control. It is God who is in charge, and just like Esther here, and just like Jesus tells us later on, to trust God, He'll give us the words and the things we need, that we don't need to be worrying about our clothes and everything else around our life, but just the only bread that we need is the bread from heaven, Jesus Himself. God bless. Have a great day.